Hi everyone, welcome to another live city tour in Italy. I'll just wait for a few people to join and then I'll add in our special guest today. We've got Lisa from Melbourne, Australia, where I'm from as well, and she is joining us from Florence. I'll just add her in now. Awesome, a few people are starting to join. 1 second. Okay. I'm adding Lisa in now. Here we go. She's just sent me a photo from a very special bridge that you might have heard of.
Buongiorno.
Buongiorno, come stai?
Bene. It's actually, so it's not raining today and it looks like there's going to be a bit of sun, but it's actually much colder than yesterday.
Yeah, it looks freezing. You're all rugged up. It's a bit cold here too.
I know, because I went out with just a light jacket on this morning to take the boys to school, and then I raced back home and rugged up a bit more. But there's the gorgeous Ponte Vecchio.
Oh, it's beautiful.
But I know we've got the sun's behind it, so it's getting a bit dark.
That's all right. I can make it out. It's gorgeous. Lots of people are joining. Amazing. Lisa, before we get started, did you want to introduce yourself? Yeah, just tell people a little bit about you.
So my name's Lisa Brancatisano, and no, that's not my married name. That's my first name. So my father was Italian but never spoke with us growing up, so that's why I decided to come here to learn Italian. And long story short, I've now been living here for 16 years. Mm-hmm. And I also have a twin sister who lives in Rome, and she's been there, I think, or in Italy. She's been for over 20 years, I want to say. So wow. Yeah, we both thought we'd never marry an Italian when we were younger, and we both ended up living here.
As you do. Yeah, it's beautiful, Florence. And you've always been based in Florence as well, Lisa?
Always. I first came here in 93, so 22, to learn Italian. And I picked Florence a bit by chance. It was, remember the Dolly or Cleo magazine that had in, the ad, Learn Italian in Italy, and Florence was the city for that school, which was actually in Santo Spirito, which is where we're going to finish today, and the school's still there. So, amazing. Yeah, so that was, and then I stayed for a few years, left, and then came back. In the meantime, my sister had moved to Piazza Santa, which is Sicilia, north of Tuscany, and she had some friends who worked in the fashion industry, so I was working in fashion industry, people walking past me, and so I was offered a job. So it was just kind of destiny that I was offered this job back in Florence, where I already felt very much at home.
Wow, beautiful. I love that story. Well, I'm very excited to see this walk through, and obviously we can walk through the whole town today, but for everyone watching, we've decided to go through the Oltrarno neighborhood, so the other side of the Arno, a little bit away from.
Yeah, not that side.
It's a beautiful...
yeah, this is...
Yeah.
Romy, I'm gonna flip it this way. So there we have Via Tornabuoni, which is for all us Melbourne people, the Tirac Road of Florence, or the fashion, exclusive stores. This palazzo here is Palazzo della Sproni, which is owned by the Ferragamo family. Mm-hmm. And then, of course, there's the top of Palazzo Vecchio, which we can see in the background. Mm-hmm. The famous Gru, the crane of Florence, which is forever there on the skyline. And, yeah, there's gorgeous Ponte Vecchio on this Christmas morning.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
So we're going to head over to the Oltrarno, which literally just means the other side of the Arno River.
Yeah.
And so I might start walking down here, and I'm going to try and not be wobbly.
That's fine. It's perfect. Yeah, this is a great side of town. I love the Oltrarno. It's definitely discovered now. It's not hidden, but it's a little bit less busy probably. And a lot of people, when I bring them over here, they go, oh, wow, especially in the middle of summer, it's much less crowded because obviously, everyone's concentrating on the other side, the Duomo, the Uffizi, Accademia. Mm-hmm. But this side, we say, is kind of a really authentic side of Florence because there are still so many businesses that have been in families for generations. I just love this classic maneuver here in Italy of the big bus and then the little bus coming around the corner. And so there's a lot of working class, businesses. All of the artisan studios are still located in this area. Yeah.
So if we were to go up this street, Borgo San Jacopo, we'd end up at the Ponte Vecchio. But we're going to head away. We're going to come down here. This is Via Santo Spirito. Beautiful. And this is one of my favourite little streets here.
It's gorgeous. Is this where, Lisa, the wine bar, Il Santino is?
Yes, we're going to be walking past that. That's up on the right, and Santo Bevittore. And yeah, what I love about this street too is some of the little artisan workshops and the bottegas or stores. So this is like one of them here. Beautiful. That does all this beautiful etching and work. And they actually, they're the most lovely family. They do all this amazing work. And just recently they did a collaboration also with, I think it was Dolce & Gabbana, where they actually printed on leather and did some really amazing outfits.
Amazing. This is what I love about this side of Florence. It's just showing us all the little boutiques and bars. It's just gorgeous.
There's a lot of gorgeous, interior stores. There's a stunning florist, Fiorile, which always has the most amazing little display out the front, which we'll walk past. And it's kind of quiet now, obviously, because
it looks empty, I have to say. It looks like, I mean, it's early, but it looks like there's no one around.
This street probably, like if I came around 12:30, there's a school at the end. That school would be getting out and that would be packed. And then also on the weekend, this is much busier. This place is amazing.
Wow, look at that. Beautiful. Gorgeous. Yeah, all the shops already open, Lisa, or are they open a little bit later?
They'll open around 10 o'clock. Yeah. Now. They should all be opening now, I think, yeah. I know, the other thing is too, Monday mornings, I know a lot of stores open later because then they've opened late on the Sunday evening. But a lot of these type of, like that's like the shopping stores, but these kind of workshops and boutiques should be opening any minute.
Any minute, yeah, awesome.
This is the florist, which is closed, but
that's beautiful.
They always have, like, I love it around Christmas too. They always have the most amazing displays outside.
Can imagine. And another one, another beautiful shop.
Interiors.
Gorgeous.
We're going to see this workshop here of Castorina. They do beautiful wood carvings, like that frame that you can see there. And what's lovely, the workshop, you can actually see them working here during the day. And then the actual shop front. Yeah. Look at this.
Wow.
Stunning.
That's beautiful. Absolutely gorgeous.
So yeah, this is a favourite, just to go in and have a little. I mean, look at the details on this stuff.
Isn't it incredible?
Beautiful little cupid.
It's gorgeous. And Lisa, you're an artist yourself.
Yeah, I have. Yeah, it's funny to now call myself an artist, but so when I first came here all those years ago, I learned how to paint. My boyfriend was an artist, and so I used to sit with him at the front of the Uffizi and sell watercolours. And then obviously, I'm just going to stop here for a minute. Obviously, when I went back to Australia and then looking back here, it was like career and busy and then family and all the rest of it. So it wasn't until last year when we were in full lockdown that I really one day just picked up my paint. But it was just a hobby, to pick up. And then I started to do some portraits, and then I got asked to do someone's dog, and I did my boys, and it's just taken off from there. So that's been fantastic. So yeah, now I do, I just posted in my stories yesterday a wine label that I did in collaboration with Eddie Soldi.
Super cool.
And then wait for the scooter to go past. And then I've done a yogurt label too, which is really fun. And yeah, it's been something that's a really lovely way to pass my time, obviously.
Definitely, yeah, it's beautiful. I love it.
So I stopped here because we're at one of this gorgeous wine window. This one, there's nothing there. There's just a tube, obviously, to let the air conditioning out. But for your listeners who don't know what these are the wine windows that Florence has recently become a bit more famous for. Move away from trucks that's unloading.
It's so great to see that, Lisa. I think when I've been in Florence, because you do see them quite a few years, you sort of pass by them if you're looking for them. It was only really recently I heard a great podcast on the wine windows, and I really started to. I thought to myself, next time I'm in Florence, I need to go out and actually have a look at them because they're so cool, and the history behind them too is just awesome.
So this one's become really famous in the last 2 years because just before the pandemic, this gorgeous bar opened, Bar Bay, and then they reopened their wine window that was here. So most people have seen like wine producers' houses in Florence, and this is where they used to sell wine from before. It was like the first bar, you could say. But there were certain hours that they could sell wine. There was a certain amount that they could sell, and they also restricted the types of foods because obviously they were quite clever. They'd have a lot of salty foods, so you'll drink some more. But this is a Facebook group that like a map of all the ones there are in Florence. But what's gorgeous about this one, see how it's got this really lovely painting.
Oh,
and
wow.
when this is open, they have a little bell, and you ring the bell, and you can buy a glass of wine, and it's like €4 a glass or something. It's nothing.
No, it's so good. Only in Florence. I love it.
Yeah, only in Florence. I think someone said to me, I've had some people who have read some articles saying, oh, they reopened them with COVID. It was a safe way to serve wine. And I was like, no. Sorry, that actually reopened before the pandemic.
Good timing, yeah.
So we're at a cute little shop for a minute here. It tells that these turning around. Yeah, there we go. These really gorgeous Venetian style. And then,
Lisa, if you knew that name.
Pardon?
Do you know the name of that shop that we just saw with the gorgeous shoes?
Just a minute.
Sorry. If anyone wants to
and Al Tapetti.
Perfect. Excellent. Can pick that out when everyone's back in Florence.
I've got that Friulani. That's a tongue twister. So it's quiet now, which is good. So this big door here is a school, and when they get out, you can't move. This is Angela Caputi, and she is a bit of a Florentine icon. She's known for this stunning resin costume jewellery.
Beautiful.
And a lot of people, like especially when Piazza's on and all the fashion shows, it's a real destination store for a lot of people like who just come to buy her pieces. She's really well known for coral bracelet cups, a bit like that one you can see on the background there. But
gorgeous.
I really love her stuff.
Yeah, absolutely beautiful.
Now here's little Santino that you just mentioned.
I love that wine bar. I've been there a couple of times. Every time I go to Florence, I go there.
They're just getting ready. And then I love this place too because I also love the fact he's still got his old original sign, Francesco. He does. I just turned on the light. Fantastic. Those are these beautiful handmade candles and shoes.
Yeah. It's gorgeous.
And then we have, of course, Santa Bevicore.
Yeah. It's a great restaurant as well. Really popular.
Yeah, very popular. You really need to book if you want to come here for dinner.
Definitely do. Someone's asking.
Yeah, sorry, go on.
Someone's asking, you're rugged up. Is it cold? What is it there at the moment?
Yeah, I'm a bit of a wuss in the cold, I have to say. So yeah, it's a bit cold for me. I don't love it. I don't love the cold. But yeah, it's compared to and it's really windy, so it seems a bit cooler. But it's not as cold as what it does get. I actually have I haven't pulled out the beanies yet, so that's when I get really cold. Pull out the beanie hat.
Yeah.
So I just want to say that here we're now at Via de Serragli, which is quite a busy street. This one running down this way. If we were to continue along there, that's Borgo San Frediano, and then we're in the San Frediano neighbourhood. Yeah. And Serragli, when I first came back here in 2006, and that's also a really great, like a little village. Like where I live in San Nicolò, which is kind of the other end of this side of town, the other end of like this from where we are behind me, but still on this side of the river. It's like a little village. Like everyone knows it. So now we're going to head down Via de Serragli, and to the very end of this street, we end up at the Puerta Romana, which is one of the, like when Florence was surrounded by the old walls, and there's some of the old towers still remaining, which were the doorways.
Yeah, amazing. While you're walking, Lisa, there's another one. Someone keeps asking about Florence. I've had a few people ask about Florence at Christmas time. And someone's asking right now, do you recommend Florence at Christmas time? I mean, obviously this year's probably...
It's quite beautiful. It's very special, I have to say. Normally, so obviously pre-pandemic, I think it's the 8th of December or the 6th.
Yeah.
They have wait a minute, just wait for these bands to go past. They have the lighting of the Christmas trees. I'm just going to point these out as I go past them. So,
amazing.
Christmas tree in the Duomo, and it's packed. You can't move. But I have to say, every year the lights are getting more and more beautiful in the centre. Like they're just stunning, and they have these. It is quite special. And I have to say, my other job, I'd often find myself in London or New York at Christmas, which I loved. But I really have to say that the Florence lights over the last few years have just been stunning. So it is a special time to come. It is obviously busy because, apart from, people coming from the rest of the world, a lot of Italians will come here as well.
Definitely. Yeah, I was there in 2019, just after Christmas, like in the days after, and it was beautiful. It was very busy, but the lights, the huge Christmas tree out in front of the Duomo, it was a beautiful atmosphere. It wasn't actually that cold compared to up north in Turin. The weather was a lot sort of mild. It was definitely cold, but it wasn't freezing, at least in 2019.
Yeah, and it has snowed here. I have a photo of Florence with beautiful dusting of snow. Wait a minute, I'm just going to wait for the truck to go past. I don't know if you can hear me when they're driving past. But that was like 10 years ago that it really snowed and settled. Yeah. And we were able to get some really great photos.
Oh, how amazing. A proper white Christmas.
Yeah, and of course it's beautiful at first, and then we're so not equipped for the snow here. So it becomes just a nightmare. It becomes a nightmare. This is a really beautiful bakery, forno, called Panificio. And this is now owned by Santo Bevitore because the old baker was about to retire. But it was a really historic location. And the oven in there, I think it's about 100 years old. And what used to happen years and years ago was everyone from the neighbourhood on a Sunday, I don't know how many they could fit in, but they would bring their Sunday roast and they would cook it in the oven here, which obviously they don't do anymore. But they have the most amazing stuff in here, apart from breads and cakes, and it's a bit dangerous to walk in there.
What street is this on, so if anyone wants to go?
So we were on Via de Serragli. It's actual street, I don't know what it's called, but at the end of here is Piazza del Carmen. Okay. So that's kind of like, we're just like a block from Piazza del Carmen. This is a very popular photo booth. I'm going to go back so you can see the whole thing. Very popular and Instagrammable, this one.
Yeah, very, very Instagrammable.
And then Via de Serragli, this has there's a really great wine bar. This is a really fantastic gelateria. Brino. But Brino's got a bit of competition now because one of our other favourite gelaterias has just opened in Piazza City. So
if there's a queue at one, you run to the other.
Yeah, exactly. And I bet there's the whole kind of discussion because everyone's so passionate about which is their favourite gelateria.
Exactly. Oh, amazing. Yeah, it's beautiful.
I'm just going to cross over.
Yeah.
Guys.
Excellent.
Out of that truck. And so basically that at the very end is Via Romana. Mm-hmm. And then if we were to turn left, we would come to Pitti Palace. Have a look at this gorgeous.
So the amazing thing about look at them, delicious. The amazing thing about Florence, though, is that it is so walkable and so compact. Everything is really close together. So even when you're across, you're not
definitely, and that's what I have to say that I really I've always really liked about Florence. I love the fact that I just ride my bike everywhere. The only reason I'll pretty much pick up the boys from school in the car, which seems very lazy because it's literally on the other side of the river from where we live. But if it's raining or if we've got to go somewhere else afterwards.
Definitely.
And, you know, so, and it's so funny, we're looking at selling our apartment and moving somewhere.
Yeah.
And I'm really, you know, wanting to move further out and have more space. And it's so funny, all the Florentines, you know, like even a place that was like 20 minutes away, I looked at and they were like, oh, that's so far. What are you going to do? You know, and the boys, you know, they're going to be wanting to ride scooters soon. And it's so funny how they, their perception of what is far away compared to, I'm like, I used to sit on a train for an hour to go to work in Melbourne and, get, you know, and study and whatever, going to the city from Frankston, you know, like, it's just normal.
I know.
So,
it's funny. It's like a big village, I guess, really, Florence.
exactly. And it's our street is really a village because everyone knows us, you know, it's like, which is nice, but then sometimes it's like, I just want to kind of move around anonymously. And there is a street, a parallel street I go to when I'm not feeling very social. I'm in a hurry. It's when I go to stop and you talk and, you know, like it depends on how much time you have. Wait a minute, we're just approaching Piazza Del Carmen, and that big building in front of me up here is quite well known. It's Palazzo Guadagno, and it's a hotel, but you can actually just go up to that gorgeous loggia up there and have a drink. So the views up there are stunning.
That's a great tip. Oh my God, here we are, the market.
The market's on, which is very exciting.
Yeah,
So I
I
love
love
all this
it.
here. I asked him once for a, you know, they mix the zabaione in the copper, I forget what it's called.
Yeah, the copper pot.
Yeah, they're really quite hard to find.
Oh, I wonder if we've got one. Excellent. Yeah, it's so empty. I can't go over it. It's really nice. It looks very
I think
relaxing.
this was like this morning. So yesterday, I was really surprised. On Saturday night, I went out and the San Ambrosia neighborhood was just so packed with people.
Really? Wow. Yeah, we're not used to it at the moment. We're sort of slowly getting back into. Oh, someone is, Pia is saying, I'm absolutely loving this walk through live. Yeah, thank you, Lisa. It's amazing to see Florence at the moment.
Gorgeous Santo Spirito. I love this piazza. And I think too, because it does bring back so many memories to me. So my school was there, and then that was our classroom where that balcony is. I used to love it. I'd come in the morning and buy my little bag of cherries in the summer.
So nice. Oh, yeah, it just has really special.
And then here, just come across here so we can see the gorgeous church, Santo Spirito.
Definitely. So in Piazza Santo Spirito. Beautiful. Oh, gorgeous.
Saying hi to my lovely, gorgeous friend Alessandra. I'm doing live. Oh, look at Australians.
Good. As you were saying, everyone knows you in Florence.
Oh, I know. That was just a nice coincidence. But actually, it's funny now, I think, because I've been here for so long, the more I move around and also doing a lot of the food and shopping tours. I know a lot of the, you know, store owners and all the rest of it.
Exactly.
Look at these gorgeous autumn colours too.
It's such a nice time of year. I love Italy. It's beautiful. Absolutely.
So this church, for those who I don't know, this was designed by Brunelleschi, who also did the Duomo. And inside there is a wooden crucifix by Michelangelo, which apparently he made to thank the nuns for letting him study anatomy on corpses, which he wasn't allowed to do. They would let him do that, which sounds quite disgusting. Anyway.
Wow.
Now, and go and have a look at the fruit veg. Show my dad what's happening here.
Yeah, exactly. I was reading about the Duomo that the outside was never actually finished. That's why it's actually very lovely on the inside, even if it looks quite plain on the outside.
This church?
This church, sorry. Yeah, this church.
Yeah, I have to say, I do love this facade.
The simplicity.
Then, if you look at the church in Piazza Del Carmen, that's even more grezza, like it's got just bricks and hasn't even got this beautiful kind of, what do you call it, stuck on the side. Yeah. And basically, you know, they would fill the church first. That would be they'd complete the inside. and then they'd run out of money. So then they wouldn't finish the facade. So, and then if you look at even like the Duomo in Florence, there was quite a few designs for that before they actually finally finished that one.
Years and years and years, or over 100 years, is that right?
Yeah, I think like 500 from the start to finish. So they had a few different, you know, people putting in their opinions too on what should have been and all the rest of it.
Exactly. Oh, it's just beautiful this side of town. Absolutely gorgeous. Where's your favorite place to eat in this side of town?
To eat?
Yeah.
I struggle with this question because there are so many great places here. I do like Santa Bevatore. There's a great place called Olivia, and it basically is across the road from Palazzo Pitti. And, oh yeah, you'd like that. You'd like the name of that place too. And it's owned by the Gonelli family, which own Frantoio Pantatea. So it's the theme, or, you know, their hero is their extra virgin olive oil. So everything, the food is amazing, but it's all cooked in extra virgin olive oil. You can do olive oil cakes as well, but it's just a really, really great place. So that's just across from Palazzo Pitti. Here in the corner, so I'm just going to flick this around here. In that corner there's Osteria Santo Spirito, which is really good. My favourite place here is just up around the corner, Casa Linga, Trattoria, and I'll just walk up to there. And like, I mean, now because of COVID, where I'm standing now this is going to be full of seats later on, tables. They've really taken advantage of this outdoor dining, and this will all be full of chairs and tables. So all these restaurants really come alive at night.
Yeah, I love all the outdoor dining, especially during the summer months. It's really nice. It's been...
And there's the Polizia Municipale, because see how now there's this rope and barrier here? So this is new because, you know, this church and these steps are always really popular and filled with, you know, students at night. They'd get a beer and a pizza and sit here and eat it. But then obviously when they were saying, you know, about no crowds and all the rest of it, a cute little Fiat just turning around the corner. You know, they had to really stop. So now they put up these barriers because if, you know, the mayor has said it's still a church, we respect the fact it's still a church. And they also limit the amount of people apparently in the piazza.
Exactly. Oh, this is gorgeous, this little place too. There's so many places.
This is closed, but this is a really cute place where they do made-to-measure shoes. So anyway, everyone's just opening, but this is one of my favourite places here, Casa Linga, and it's here on the corner. I love this. Look at the curtains in the window. How gorgeous are they?
Casa Linga, it's beautiful. Oh.
Isn't it? And here, like, it's really lovely. So they never had all this outdoor dining either. So I have to say, I do love all the greenery and trees and everything around the tables outside. But this place, you often have to book, but you can, if you can often just grab a table. But this is where a lot of locals come for lunch. But the food is just really good, basic Italian. Yeah. Like, I'll go in, it's ridiculous, and I'll have boiled chicken and vegetables, which sounds like hospital food, but it's just so good. Like, it's the ultimate comfort food.
Yeah, exactly. Especially during this season, it's the best for having a long lunch and some.
Exactly. Now this bar here is also, I remember when I think it was my first morning at starting school here when I came in 93 and I was 22, and I walked in and I remember always saying to my Italian dad, how come you put so much sugar in your espresso? Like, that's so much sugar to put in such a tiny cup of coffee. But I never drank espresso. I just, you know, had like the milky coffee like what we would have in espresso. And I remember I walked in there and I was like, well, I'm in Italy now, I'm going to have an espresso. And I didn't put any sugar in. I had a sip. Well, I nearly spat it across the bar because I remember it was so bitter. Now I drink my espresso like that, straight, with no sugar. But the same people in this place now, I think.
That is so lovely. Speaking of businesses, Pia is just asking, have many businesses closed due to COVID in Florence?
Have many closed? Yes. So there's a lot of places that it was really weird. It was like we kind of came out of this hibernation. It was like, oh, they're not there anymore. Oh, what, you know what I mean? You know, there's also been on the other side a whole lot of incredible like new openings. So many new places around. I feel like every time I walk into the centre, there's a shop I haven't noticed before. a lot of restaurants now have opened that are just focusing on the bistecca, on the Florentine steak. So there's lots of, big sides of meat hanging in windows of restaurants. So yeah, there's a lot of places that didn't survive the whole kind of pandemic. So this street is called Via della Sprone. I just kept walking. And this is also really lovely because this has got a lot of other, gorgeous artisans. It's a beautiful tailor, and she does all beautiful made-to-measure.
Beautiful.
And then I don't know if you can see because of the sun, but that building at the end is Caputi.
Oops, we've just lost Lisa. Let's see if the connection comes back.
This place is really popular. Carduccio, which is vegetarian, vegan. They do beautiful, really amazing food in there.
Well, that's good to know for anyone who's vegetarian.
And I have to say, now there are so many options. So, people say, oh, I don't eat gluten. I'm celiac.
Yeah, Italy's really caught up. I agree. It's quite easy to find those sort of options in Turin as well.
Yeah, soy coffee. It's just the standard now. So here we are. We've come up to Palazzo Pitti.
Excellent. Oh, beautiful. Paola's from Italy on my mind is saying, love that clothing shop. She wants to know what the name was, Lisa, of the clothing shop.
That tailor that we just went past?
Yeah.
Oh, I can't remember his name. I'll walk back past it. I'll turn around and walk back past it so you can get it.
Put it in the description. No worries, that's fine.
I left my bike in Piazza Santa Spirito, so I've got to walk back down that way anyway.
Oh, look, it's so empty. It's lovely walking around this morning. It's very tranquilo.
So just remember that Monday mornings are good for walking around the city.
Exactly. Amazing.
We get tour group here, and I have to say, I remember when we suddenly saw tour groups again that we weren't used to. I've seen also the first big tour buses where they park at the other end of town, and that was that they just disappeared for a while, but now they've started to come back. So
come back, yeah. Tourism's definitely slowly starting back up again. Also, say again.
We're just missing all the Aussies.
Yeah, we're missing all the Aussies, I know. Hopefully we'll see some more next year. I know my family and probably yours too are pretty keen to get back over here.
Yeah, my dad just sent me a message. So we're thinking of going to Sardinia next year. Can you recommend some places? And I was like, am I invited too? That's just for you. Come and see me. So, I'm walking back down that street, so just hang on a minute and we'll get back to that gorgeous
perfect.
tailor.
We can give Paola the name of the shop. Yeah, that would be great. I'd love to check it out. Yeah, everyone's saying we're all missing you too from Australia.
Yeah. There's, I have to turn down, sorry. I always forget I haven't turned around. So if we walk down this street, we get to Piazza della Pastora, which is one of the smallest little piazzas in Florence, in Santa Spirito, but it's full of some really great restaurants. There's Quattro Leoni, which is very popular. It's got Cinque. Cinque and Cinque is a vegetarian restaurant. Cinque e Cinque gets its name 5 and 5 from a famous sandwich, panino from Livorno, which was bread filled with a chickpea slice or tart, and it was called Cinque Cinque because it was 5 lire for the chickpea and then 5 lire for the bread. Here we are. Annie.
Oh, amazing, Paola. There's the name of the shop, Tiziana Aleman.
Aleman.
Awesome. Yes. You can write that down. I'll save this.
Can you see that?
Oh, it's a little bit blurry. It's a little bit.
So it's tizianaalemani.it for her website.
Amazing. That's great. Yeah, lots of people are saying they're hoping to get back to Italy next year. Fingers crossed. Amazing.
It's so funny. I just booked a flight yesterday for the first time in I don't know how long. I'm going to visit one of my closest girlfriends from Melbourne, but she's living in Spain now. And it was so exciting booking a flight. But then at the same time, I was like, oh no, what do I have to do?
I know. It's still it's not as super easy, but yeah, it was sort of slowly getting back to normality.
Exactly. So do we know also why a lot of the buildings come out like this and why they're larger on the first floor? So the Florentines, forever being very clever and trying to avoid spending extra taxes, you were taxed for the amount of square footage that touched the ground. So what they did was they built out the first floor so they had more space, but they didn't pay tax on it.
I love it. Very molto furbi. Very
in fact. And I like when you say to people, you know, that whole, I mean, you know, furbi, Italian single.
It's so good, so good. Oh, it's just beautiful to see Florence, Lisa. Thank you so much.
Oh, pleasure. I really, and actually I'm pleased that we first time because Friday, even though then eventually the sun did come out, it was kind of foggy and it was just, I think we would have got rained on, so it's been as pleasant.
Exactly. Yeah, it's so great to see Italians avoiding tax since forever with the laughing tax.
Exactly. True, Grace. I just realised you were listening. There we are. I'll finish at that.
Well, Lisa, do you want to tell everyone in case they, you know, when they come back to Italy, if they'd like to?
Yeah, if you want to do like either a food, shopping, or we can mix them all up. I do sometimes a bit of both. Or if you just want to do like look at all the artisan studios, or I've had some people who just want to come and do a bit of like actual fashion shopping. So whether it's contemporary fashion and looking at stores that have brands that are more kind of local that you're not going to find when you go back home and all the rest of it. Yeah, they can contact me via Instagram, just even via, you know, direct here. And then also via my website, tuscanlife.com. And that also has all my info for the artwork, for watercolour commissions and everything.
Yes, your artwork as well. Yes, you've got tours, artwork. You've also got a magazine. You've got
the magazine now has I did like 4 collections because it started off being every month and then it was bi-monthly and then the last 4 issues were spring, summer, autumn, winter, and they're a bit of a collection of everything. So they contain like all the traditional recipes of those seasons, artisans, places to go, and that's kind of on hold at the moment. I'm not developing new issues because I'm planning on maybe next year to do together with that and maybe my artwork. So
excellent.
Exciting.
Lots happening. Well, if anyone wants to check that out, you can follow Lisa at This Tuscan Life. That's her name on Instagram as well. Amazing. Well, thank you so much, Lisa.
Thank you.
Any other questions? I went through just lots of people saying so nice. They miss Florence and they can't wait to be back there.
I'll flick it round. So your last view is of the, wait a minute, why is it sometimes it's not wanting to turn around? Wait a minute. I'm getting my echo. There we go. A nice view of Santo Spirito.
I can go on feeling about tomorrow. Hopefully we'll all get there. Well, thank you. Someone said great tour, thoroughly enjoyed. Excellent. I'll save this on my profile so people can
fantastic.
Amazing.
Let's see if I can save it too. I think if I post it in my highlights, then I can save it as a highlight talk. Okay, I'm going to do that.
Perfect. Thanks, Lisa. Have a lovely afternoon. Ciao.
Buona giornata. Bye, everyone. Bye.
Ciao. Ciao.
Ciao.